Hey guys, I am Game Advisor and welcome back to another Icarus mission video. Today we're going to be talking about the mission Concealment Recovery. Now if you didn't already know, this will unlock the new enemy type, which is scorpions, into the actual game. So in order to actually unlock them though, we're going to have to complete this mission, but with that being said, that may change in the future, so it may not be absolutely required as you go forward depending on how they do the updates. Now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and start the video. Now, before you drop in, we highly recommend that you take some speed-related items like the move speed modules or maybe the green backpack in order to give yourself as much move speed as possible. This is because you're going to be traveling very long distances, and we also recommend that you bring in the exotic armor since we're going to have to go into the snow biome most likely, and you're going to want to be able to stay warm. If you're watching this video relatively recently, then you probably know that they've changed the weather systems as well, and it's actually pretty severe. So I highly recommend that you prepare yourself as you're going to have to go into the snow biome at some point. Otherwise, go ahead and start setting up a small base since you're going to need to build some items in order to activate the different drop pods across the map. In total, we'll need 100 gunpowder, 10 electronics, 2 cooked fatty steaks, and 4 oxygen restoration paste between both of the drop pods. That means each drop pod individually will require 50 gunpowder, 5 electronics, 1 cooked fatty steak, and 2 oxygen restoration paste. Now, the gunpowder and electronics at this point should be pretty self-explanatory. The gunpowder is made in the mortar and pistol, which you will need a blueprint for. The electronics are going to be made in the tier 3 workbench, which is, again, pretty self-explanatory. You've probably already done that at this point. And then you're going to need the cooked fatty steaks. Now, the cooked fatty steaks is one of the harder of the ingredients to actually get, and this is because the only way to get it is by killing bears. Now, you could go ahead and run around the forest biome, but there's only a few bear spawns in all of it, so I'd actually recommend you go ahead and craft all the way up to a bolt-action rifle or some kind of gun and try to take on some polar bears. It's a little more dangerous, it's a little more risky, but honestly, it's going to save you a lot of time. It took us about 10 kills to get any cooked fatty steaks, so just keep in mind you're going to need a fair amount of ammo as well. Now, once you do get those fatty steaks, I highly recommend you also put all but one of them into the refrigerator. That way you can store them before you actually have to go out to the second objective. Otherwise, you're going to have to go through that whole process of killing more and more polar bears until you get another drop. Now, in order to get the oxygen restoration paste, you're going to need to find sponges. Sponges are few and far between in Icarus, so the best place you can go to actually find them is going to be a lake located in O11. Once you get to that lake, you'll actually find a bunch of sponges which grow on rocks and look something like this. They're extremely important as you just can't craft the oxygen restoration paste, and just to give you an idea here, I went to every other lake inside the forest biome and only found 1 sponge, and I found 6 in one small little spot inside O11. So once again, go to O11, that's where you're going to get the sponges in order to make the oxygen restoration paste. And don't worry, they don't decay like the fatty steaks, so you don't have a time limit on them. Now, once you have all the ingredients you're going to need, go ahead and head over to the first drop pod. Do be sure that your steak won't decay before you get there though. If it's going to, take 2 with you so that you have that extra one just to be safe. Once you do put everything in, the drop pod will then start spawning out little scorpions nearby. These are pretty easy to deal with. They can poison you, and the poison does actually hit really hard, so do be careful with that. I'd recommend either using your gun that you've probably already built to deal with the polar bears, or just using a bow or a spear or some kind of ranged weapon to not allow yourself to get poisoned. You can melee them. Just keep in mind, if you do get poisoned, it's going to hurt, so you might want to bring some kind of anti-venom or some kind of antidote or whatever in order to actually deal with it. After you've defeated enough of the scorpions, the little drop thing will kind of explode, and then you'll be done with that section. Simply go to the next objective, do the same process, and voila, you are done. It is worth mentioning when you do go to the one in the desert biome up north, you can actually unstuck inside of a cave to teleport yourself up top onto that cliff instead of walking all the way around. It's just a nice little thing you can do. You don't have to do it, but it is an option. Once all of that is complete, simply run back to your drop pod, leave, and congratulations, you've now finished the mission. Thank you guys so much for watching. For more Icarus and other survival game content, do consider subscribing to our channel. We're so appreciative of all of you guys. I am Game Advisor, and I'll see you next time.